Remembering Sergeant Michael Wilson.
He was just a good person. He was a good law officer. He followed the books.
A respected and dedicated sheriff's deputy who devoted 22 years of his life to the people of Charlotte County.
I've known Mike for a very long time. I'm going to remember him as a brother officer. He's truly going to be missed. He was unique, one of a kind.
A devoted husband, father of 3 teenagers, a family man.
Great dad, a great husband. I've never seen a bad look on that man's face ever.
Always willing to help family, friends, and even strangers. And one thing caught everyone's attention.
That smile. He looks like a young boy out there all the time, always had that smile on his face.
A man who loved his job and the community he served.
We look forward to guys like them to help us in the event we have a problem. So.
This morning, we are honoring a hero. A short time ago, the family of Sergeant Wilson arrived at the Charlotte Harbor Event Center in Punta Gorda in this black limousine. His wife, Joanne, his 2 sons, Brandon and Tyler, and his daughter, arriving for the services and law enforcement from across the state, as far south as Key West, all the way up into the Panhandle and into the other coast of Florida, the east coast of Florida, all arriving to stand guard. Sergeant Wilson died protecting the community he loved. Good morning. I'm Kelly Burns.
And I'm Clay Miller. Good morning, everybody. Today, welcome to our special coverage of Honoring a Hero. We have a team of reporters bringing you every angle of Sergeant Wilson's funeral service and then the honorary procession through Punta Gorda and then into Port Charlotte.
NBC2 anchor Peter Bush is live at the Charlotte Harbor Event Center right now in Punta Gorda. And Peter, we have been watching live pictures from there all morning. It looks like a huge crowd of law enforcement is already gathered there, and I know the family has arrived as well.
Indeed it is. The family actually walked by where I'm standing about 15 minutes ago, some with tears streaming down their faces, others with a stoic look on their faces. Inside the event center, there are 2 focal points. As soon as you walk in, you can't miss them. Front and center is Sergeant Wilson's casket, draped by an American flag. And then right above it on the stage and to the left is a big picture of Sergeant Wilson with that trademark smile that everyone loved, framed inside a giant police badge. It's a beautiful setup for the ceremony here today. And before we go more into what will happen today, we want to take a look back at how we got here.
Charlotte County deputies say the fateful call came in at 8:07 Monday night. Someone reported that a man was beating up his wife and kid at the Lakes of Toscana apartments in Port Charlotte. Sergeant Mike Wilson was supposed to be backup, but he arrived first and approached the apartment.
He was at the bottom of the staircase.
A gunman at the top of the staircase fired a shot that hit just above Wilson's protective vest.
He took our life away from us.
Just 6 minutes after the initial call, deputies say Wilson used his last breath to announce shots fired over the radio to warn other deputies. He was rushed to Peace River Regional Medical Center, where he was pronounced dead.
I'm glad he was here to protect us, but I'm sad that he had to lose his life.
Just handed a list of the speakers here today. Charlotte County Sheriff Bill Promell will speak first. Governor Rick Scott will also speak, as will Sergeant Wilson's family pastor, Rich Webb. In all, there are 9 speakers. The ceremony or the service scheduled to begin at 10 o'clock today. Also here is Fort Myers Police Chief Doug Baker. Officer Andrew Widman died 5 years ago. He was the last law enforcement officer in Southwest Florida to be killed in the line of duty. And we asked Chief Baker about that and what it's meant to his department and what it will mean to Charlotte County Sheriff's Office.
All right, Peter, thank you. Wilson was a decorated deputy. Services are about to get underway in about 30 minutes, as we mentioned at the top of the hour at 10, celebrating Wilson's life. He joined the department 21 years ago After the services on the north lawn, we will see a riderless horse waiting while bagpipes play, and that is all followed by a 21-gun salute. Then Wilson's badge will be called over the radio for the last time, which is always an emotional part of the ceremony. At noon, the 25-mile procession begins, and we will return to the event center about an hour and a half later if everything is on time, where there is a private reception with the family. There is no graveside burial today.
And that's getting you prepared for today. Yesterday, a very emotional time where 4,000 people showed up last night to the visitation for Sergeant Wilson and also at the event center. The flag draped casket there you see arriving in a white hearse. And it was accompanied by, you can see in the distance here, his family. He's survived by his wife, Joanne, and children, Brandon, Tyler, and Emily.
And they're all teenagers,
Yes.
13, 15, and 16. I think that's what touched all of us, was what a difficult time, anytime to lose a father. But for these kids, it's just horrific.
Yeah.
And he's so well known in the community. He went to high school in Port Charlotte.
Port Charlotte High
He
School.
returned to his alma mater to be a school resource officer. And by all accounts, he was just loved by everybody. I mean, they talk about his smile and how it was just infectious, and he always smiled. And what also touched me is he owned his own lawn care business on the side, lawn enforcement, so he could make extra money for his family. He was a real family man, and I think that will be his legacy.
Absolutely. All right, a live look here outside the Harbor Event Center, the Charlotte Harbor Event Center. We are about 25 minutes away where the funeral services will be underway. And once again, the family has arrived, and we've mentioned numerous law enforcement agencies from all across the state.
And you're looking live now at fireboats in the harbor, and there's going to be a water cannon salute on the north lawn. After the funeral inside, there's a service on the north lawn. A casket lead into position by that riderless horse, bagpipes, taps, a 21-gun salute. The flag will be presented, the flag that's on the casket that you see right there will be presented to the widow by Sheriff Bill Promell. Helicopter missing man flyby, and then of course that emotional last call over the radio, all on the north lawn. And there are screens set up on the north lawn for the public to view the service, because the public is not allowed inside the service. That is just filled to capacity, 2,000 members of law enforcement, and of course the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office family inside. Wilson was a decorated deputy, as we mentioned, a 21-year veteran of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office. He joined the department in 1992. He was awarded the Sheriff's Medal and Good Conduct Award in 1995. Some of his other awards include his physical fitness training, and he was made a member of the Quarter in 2000, among numerous other commendations. And according to his uncle, who was also a police officer in Illinois, Wilson just always wanted to be a cop.
You think you live in a town that's big and everybody doesn't know everybody and all, but we were commenting just this morning about how everybody just jumps on board.
We're tight-knit and we're close, and in the event something happens to any one of us, this town will pull together, and they prove it every single time.
It's tough on everybody, and it's just something that should never happen.
A wonderful man, as far as I could see. It was such a tragedy to lose him.
And we'd like to let you know, if you are planning on going out and paying your respects, we ask you to send us your pictures and thoughts so we can see everything from your vantage point. We'd like to share those with the community, with our viewers this morning. We have started a Twitter hashtag as well, honoring Sergeant Wilson. You can load pictures onto our Facebook page or on our website, nbc-2.com. Just click on the See, Shoot, Send on the top bar of the home page. This has affected the entire community of Southwest Florida and Port Charlotte as well. And let's watch here for a moment here as the services are about to begin.
I want to thank all the family and friends and dignitaries for coming out here today to celebrate the life of Sergeant Mike Wilson.
As a 21-year veteran of the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office, Sergeant Wilson was committed to keeping families safe.
You know, Mike, everything was over the top.
Mike entered that day not knowing what was going to happen to him in the end. But as his squad, the night crawlers, we're very proud of our hero, our brother that was there with us every night for the last 8 months, and we thank him for that.
Mike faced the dangers that night to protect someone he never met, and in the end paid the ultimate sacrifice. Mike Wilson most likely saved the lives of his squad members that night and other people. Mike Wilson did die a hero.
He would grab them, put them in a headlock, call them by their nicknames, and just start kissing them wherever he could plant them. When they were little, they would squirm a little bit, but eventually they learned it was much easier to go with it, even if it was in the parents' school drop-off line.
You have special friends, people that touch you. That was this guy.
Walk with me and enjoy this view. You are a part of heaven, and now it is a part of you.
God will use people to bring hope to a family by an outpouring of a loving community, because love is greater than evil.
Going home! By the center! Slow!
Yes.
Freeze down! traffic. Central 405. Central 405. Will all units please pause? From last call, in tribute to and in memory of our fallen fellow deputy, Sergeant Michael Wilson. ID number 398. Born November 25th, 1970, in Harrisburg, Illinois. Appointed to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office on June 23rd, 1992, and died on August 5th, 2013. Central, all units, 405 is out of service. May we all have a moment of silence and prayer. Central, all units, clear emergency traffic.
Mike.
Beautiful, beautiful morning and now beautiful afternoon in Southwest Florida, and it looks like the procession is now underway.
This is the procession crossing, and the first place they're going to go to is they are going to cross over the Peace River, take US 41, north and southbound lanes split at the bridge, but they are going to cross over US 41 right now, and you can see the motorcycle officers. And there are also officers after that. Behind that, and these officers are from all different agencies all over the state. You can see the different motorcycles there and the different uniforms from Key West into the Panhandle. And as you just saw, there were a couple officers from Chicago who were here as well, because Sergeant Wilson was born in Illinois. His uncle was a trooper, an Illinois State Trooper. We spoke with him earlier in the week, Bob Burns, who tells us that Sergeant Wilson always, from the time he was a young boy, wanted to be a police officer. And there you see the officers on horseback. They are escorting the hearse, a white hearse, and behind that, in the black limousine, the family of Sergeant Michael Wilson.
Yeah, just an amazing sight there. And now from our chopper overhead to see that as well. And just to name some of these law enforcement agencies as the hearse goes by carrying the fallen Sergeant Michael Wilson there. Northport, Delray Beach, DeSoto County, Naples, Nokomis, Tampa, St. Pete, Central Florida, Arcadia, Pasco, Golden Beach, you name it. They're all here in the Southwest Florida area into Port Charlotte to pay their respects to their fallen brother.
And right now the procession is traveling underneath the American flag, which is being held up high in the air by the fire department ladders, which are extended, and a huge flag is hanging. They just passed underneath that. And these are pictures from Sky 2 again, showing you people lined up. You can see them there, people lined up all along the route to pay their respects to the sergeant.
And just getting more word now from Stacy Deffenbaugh, who's in our chopper right now. She even said, and maybe we'll be able to see that, but there are boats, numerous boats now in the Peace River that have lined up now along the bridge area or stopped along the Peace River Bridge area to witness this procession as it now begins to make its way north over the Peace River Bridge as it will now travel into Charlotte Harbor of Charlotte County.
That's a pretty dramatic shot right there. Everything, procession crossing the bridge. Feeling like we got to know this man that everyone loved. And there's no one out there who said he didn't ask for help. He was there. If they asked for whatever they needed, he operated a lawn service to raise money for his family. And oh, that picture just gets me every time, him with his little kids.
Well, I mean, you're a family, you have children as well. It really hits home, and we appreciate it, and you know the community does as well, for all that Sergeant Wilson and all folks, men and women in law enforcement, what they do for our community here in Southwest Florida. It was an emotional day, but a beautiful, beautiful ceremony. We thank our crews out there, and our hearts go out to the family and to the Charlotte County Sheriff's Office as we were honoring a hero.